All right, so Taj, primetime football on a Sunday night. The New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The New Orleans Saints take this one away convincingly. It was not even close. They win this one 38-3. And Tampa Bay, I mean, I think they scored one field goal like early in the fourth quarter, and that was it. They got nothing all night. It was not close. I did not expect this. I expected this to be a dogfight because these guys division rivals, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost the first game, so I expect them to come out and try and make this again. But nobody expected this, and they were favorites. What do you make of this win by the Saints?
Yeah, this was a great win by the Saints. They started off this game really well. They got some great turnovers off on Brady, which allowed their offense to get some short fields. That's what allowed them to get three easy touchdowns, and that really was the game. They got those three quick touchdowns from short field, and that was about it. The defense really couldn't stop them. Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill, they had themselves a night. They came out and they showed out like they usually do. And that's just the kind of game it was for Tampa. Like it's just nothing going their way today. The offense was stagnant. They was pressuring Brady all night. I didn't think the O-line do a great job, but you got to give credit to the Saints defensive line. They were on Brady all night, and that was just the story of the game. Like the Bucs just got in a huge hole early. I think the score was like what 28-0 in the second quarter, and that was just about it. Yeah, Brady had three interceptions by Brady. This is actually the fifth. The Saints have actually intercepted Brady 5 times this season, and that is costly. That is something that needs to be addressed, because it's something that's going on why the Saints are seeing Tom Brady. It's either the schemes they are running against the Saints or just something. Those guys are just not on the same page. But this is a division rival. The Saints, they do play the Bucs 2 times a year. They're probably getting used to Bruce Arians' offense. They probably understand what is going on and what routes these guys like to run. You got a great coaching staff over there with Sean Payton running the show, and when you play the Saints, you can't just have good plays. You got to be well coached as well. They just had Brady all night, and the defense just couldn't stop them. It was just that kind of game for Tampa. Well, Tampa have been on a roll the past few weeks. Usually you see a team that's rolling. You usually see them hit a wall at some point mid-season. I think this is that wall for Tampa. They haven't had their bye week as yet. I think their bye week is coming up real soon. They're gonna need to go regroup and see what's going on. But this was a terrible loss, especially on Sunday Night Football. And I don't know. This one is gonna be remembered for a long time.
This was a horrible loss by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this was absolutely horrible. And it starts from Tom Brady. The offense couldn't get nothing going. I think they started off the game with it was like 5 straight 3-and-outs. That is unacceptable, and they couldn't get anything going. You mentioned the short fields. That was because of those 3-and-outs by Tom Brady. They couldn't they backed up at the 5 yard line, 3-and-out. You kick the punt, you get it to the 60 yard by at most, and the return guy gets him like 10 yards. So now Drew Brees at the 50. That's easy. That's too easy. And what now? I see this. This what I understand. Everybody is making. A couple weeks ago, he was making noise. Oh, Gronk. Oh, now they got Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. All these guys was there today. All these guys was there today. Three probably the top 5 receivers in the league on one team. And you tell me you can't get 7 points. Like that's ridiculous. 3 interceptions by Tom Brady. That's horrible. This Buccaneers team, I told you they were supposed to lose last week to the Giants, and you're making noise when the Giants got robbed at the goal line. Everyone's well the Giants will lose anyway. They should have lost that game last week, and they came out and they followed them this week. They paid for what they did to the Giants last week. They flat out robbed the Giants, and they came back to bite them in the butt this week. And you could argue if Daniel Jones was, a better quarterback, the Giants easily would have won the game. Now you see what happened when he went up against a real quarterback or a real team that doesn't make as many mistakes as those other teams, and they the Saints, they didn't make they made them pay for everything. Like those interceptions, I think they got all points off those interceptions. And you could argue it could have been even wider than this because I think Tampa Bay got a couple of fumbles. They got they got a fumble at like the 2 yard line. That could have easily been another touchdown for the Saints. And this was terrible. And this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, I mean, they just looked like the Saints. You got to give credit to the Saints defense. They came out and they punched them right in the mouth from the jump, and they couldn't. The Buccaneers just couldn't respond.
Okay, so you bring up those guys drunk. So what are you saying? What are you saying? They're not good? So what it's a bad loss. That doesn't mean those guys aren't great. Yes, it's a terrible loss today. That doesn't change my mind
No, but
about
this supposed to be the
those
best team in
guys.
the world, though. This supposed to be the best team in the world, best offense. Oh, these guys going to the Super Bowl, this and that. This team ain't going to the Super Bowl. Not looking like this.
It's week 8. It's week 8. This is Antonio's game. This is Antonio's Brown voice game, and this is week 8. It's Antonio's Brown voice game in 2 years. Every great team has had a terrible loss this season. Don't forget the Titans just lost to the Bengals last week. The Packers had a terrible loss against the Bucs. The Saints had a terrible loss against the Raiders, and the Chiefs had a terrible loss against the Raiders as well. Every team goes through this hump. Every team goes through this where they just have a bad loss throughout the middle of the season. That doesn't make me feel like those teams aren't great. I still think the Chiefs are the best team in the league. I still think the Titans are our house, and I still think the Packers are our team to be reckoned. I still think they'll be one of the final 4 teams in the NFC. That isn't just because they had a bad loss. That doesn't make me feel like those teams aren't great. I still feel like this Bucs team is primed to go to the Super Bowl. This is a division rival. You got guys. You got Chris Godwin. He's coming back off an injury. He's missed 4 games already. Got Antonio Brown. He's just coming back. Mike Evans hasn't been practicing over the past 6 weeks. So I don't think this game does. I don't think this means that these guys aren't going to the Super. It doesn't change my mind about these guys. I still think these guys are great. It's just a terrible loss. And when you get in a big hole to a great team like the Saints, these are things that happen. We just saw it the other week with the Packers and the Saints. These kind of games happen. Every great team have these games. We saw last year with the Chiefs. They lost those 2 bad games in a row. I think one was to the Broncos, and I can't remember the other team that beat them. They lost 2 weeks in a row. Every team has these kind of games. It doesn't change my mind. It's football, but the only thing about it is Tom Brady as the quarterback, and you guys aren't expecting Tom Brady to only put up 3 points, and I get that, I understand that, but yes, he did have a terrible game. Yes, it wasn't a great game for the defense. Yes, the Saints bullied them, but I don't think this is I think this is more of an aberration than a normal for the Buccaneers. I think everyone can agree that this is an aberration. They just had a terrible game. Nothing went their way, and you just move forward. It's football. It's any given Sunday you can get blown out.
Okay, now you saying that, okay, now I understand, yeah, that's an aberration, right? But like, just look at this, right? This probably is the single worst loss in the entire NFL this season. Like, I don't think I could recall what they got beat by 35 points. I don't think anybody's lost that badly this season. And you're talking about a division game, rivals, 2 top powerhouses in the whole NFL. You could argue these 2 are Super Bowl contenders, and this game should not have been this lopsided. Like, it was. This is terrible. And for Tom Brady to have all these guys, all these weapons, Rob Gronkowski, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, all those guys on the field playing, and you can't get 7 points.
First of all,
unacceptable.
I don't care how many weapons you have on offense. If you don't have time to throw the ball, you're just not going to put up points. We've seen that. That's the history. That's the history of the NFL. If you don't have time to throw the ball, you're not going to put up points. How many times did Tom Brady get sacked in this game? Like 6 times. The fact of the matter is the Saints defense, they was pressuring him all night. The O-line couldn't stop anybody. That is the reality of the situation. And yes, okay, it may be the worst loss we've seen this season, but does that change your mind about this team? A lot. I look at it, a loss is a loss. I look at it and I say, I still don't think the Saints are better
Okay.
than Bucks. Do you think the Saints are going deeper than the Bucks in the playoffs? Are you willing to say you think the Saints are going deeper
Okay.
than Bucks
Hold
in the playoffs?
on.
I don't think that. And I don't
Hold
think anyone else. I don't think anyone else thinks that. Yes, it's a terrible loss, but okay, like I don't know what else you want us to say. It's a bad loss. You move on, and then you move on. Like that's what it is. It's a terrible loss. It's probably one of the worst losses in Tom Brady's career, maybe if not the worst. But I still think this Bucks team is great. I just think they need to get some continuity. I think they need to get some of those guys healthy. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. I think they need to get healthy. I think they need to start practicing more. AB is back, so I think they'll begin to gel the defense. They've been playing great for a long time. I think it was about time they were due for a bad game. It just happens in NFL. Every great defense has one or two bad games per year. It happens. The defense they need this team without the preseason and without the OTAs and with everything. This
See,
team
come
this
on now.
team needs this team needs a bye week. And with all these injuries, he had no
See,
off
now all
season,
the excuses
no
come.
OTAs,
All
no
the
preseason,
excuses
none of
come.
that. They need a bye week. They need a rest. They were playing great, and I think the guys are just kind of wearing down, and the guys aren't getting a chance to get healthy. I still think the Bucks are a great team. I don't know. You're making all this noise, but you're still not taking the Saints to go deeper than the Bucks. So all this noise is just press talk to me right now.
I'm taking the Saints to go deeper in the Bucks. They already beat them twice this
They're not
season.
going to be playing the Bucks in the playoffs. It's not going to. They're not going to play the Bucks in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That's
but no,
that's
but
the
I
fact of
mean
the matter.
the Bucks probably. I mean, they're probably not going to win the division anymore. They don't forget they still got the Falcons, and we know what happens to the Falcons. What they do to those division rivals. Those games are heated, and yeah, you could argue Tampa Bay is supposed to win those games, but I don't think it's going to be. I think the Falcons going to take one of those games. Okay,
No,
and
no,
okay,
not one. I,
I'll,
I
I'll
would
bet
I
you.
would
I'll
put a
bet
lot of
you a
real
dollar.
estate
I'll
on that.
bet you. I'll
I'll
bet
put a
you
lot of
anything.
real estate on that. Falcons are not.
I'll,
By
the
time is they
Falcons
played
will
no.
take the Falcons will take one of those games. I'll bet
They
anything on
play the Falcons 2 of the last 3 weeks of the season. By that
it.
time, the
Exactly.
Falcons record will probably be what
Okay,
3-12.
okay,
They will probably be about what 3-12 by that time. You guys will be playing for a top 5 seed, meaning those
okay.
guys.
Now,
Matt
okay.
Ryan may even be traded at
Hold
that
on,
point. They
hold
may
on.
even bench him.
What lottery teams like more? What is the most satisfaction lottery teams get? Beating a team that's trying to make the playoffs. What did the Dolphins do to y'all last year? Y'all supposed to get a bye week, and the Dolphins came out that last game. They played their hearts out, and y'all didn't get that bye. And you could argue y'all not getting that bye is the reason y'all lost. The Patriots lost in the playoffs.
No, the reason the Patriots lost was because the Patriots were playing bad. They went 3-5 the last 8 weeks. It's not
Okay,
just the
yeah,
Dolphins that
but
beat them.
okay,
They
yeah, but
lost a lot of teams.
no,
They went 3-5 the last 8 weeks. They were playing bad. The team was not great last year. It was not that great. You've seen it now with Cam
okay,
in there. They're
okay.
what 2-5.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
like
now, but you
I
still
don't.
missing the point. Those lottery teams like ruining playoff chances for other teams. So don't think the Falcons could just come out and lay down and lay an egg those last couple of weeks. They come out and make a playoff. It's not going to be. And you just how this team playing now versus they were supposed to lose to the Giants and they lost tonight to the Pelicans. You tell me the Falcons can't beat them? Like, come on, let's be real here.
The Falcons, really now. The Falcons who are planning on trading the best wide receiver in the game, who plan on getting rid of their 34-year-old quarterback. That same Falcons team who fired their coach week 5. That same Falcons team who's
Okay,
planning on rebuilding.
okay,
That same
okay,
Falcons team. That's the Falcons team you're talking about. Come out of here. Get out of here. One of the worst defense in the NFL
okay,
over the past
okay,
four
okay,
or 5
okay,
years. That
okay,
Falcons team. Come on now. Let's
okay,
not talk about the
okay,
Falcons. Falcons aren't even in this league. They need to go to college. They need to be playing they need
okay,
to be playing with
okay.
the Georgia
All right.
Bulldogs. As a matter of fact, I would be scared
Okay.
playing the Georgia Bulldogs than playing the Atlanta Falcons. That
All
team
right.
that does not scare
Well,
anybody.
the Falcons ain't 40 on y'all. I don't man. That's all I saying.
Yeah, they will score 50
Yeah.
points because the Falcons will go up 40-0 and
Okay.
lose 50-40. That's what they do. They
Okay,
lose, they
whatever.
lose, they lose, they lose, they lose big leads like that. We know the history of the Falcons. Let's not talk about the Falcons, please.